no other living animator is as widely worshipped as Hayao Miyazaki. While most of the animation works are made by a group, a team, Miyazaki's films are personal, with young protagonists as the director's stand-ins on their path of self-discovery. The childhood memories of World War II torn Japan, the sound of sirens, the bombed-out cities, the feelings of displacement, the loss of a parent, are all regular themes of Miyazaki's signature artistry. And the master is back with all that and more, breaking out of retirement almost 10 years after his last feature, The Wind Rises, to cast one last spell in his swansong film, The Boy and the Heron. The new film, his last film in all possibility, is perhaps also his most personal film. Inspired by the 1937 novel How Do You Live by Genzaburo Yoshino that his mother Yoshiko presented to young Miyazaki. A film where the master wants to pass on the baton of resilience on the face of conflict and grief, calls out the importance of friendship and trust among allies, and guides us for one last time to move forward and bring humanity in today's ever-so-brutal world. Miyazaki's tales have always been about those formative experiences that shape our understanding of truth, life, and the cycles of the world. He puts his young stand-ins into real and surreal premises and takes them through adventures that will carve the building blocks of who they would be in life. It is this aspect of his films that both children and adults relate to and thus love, as they look at the journey of his protagonists from either side of the spectrum. No wonder that Miyazaki named his memoirs as Starting Point and Turning Point, as his films always zoom into those junctures in life. His new film is no different, as we watch young Mahito settling down to the loss of his mother, his father's remarriage, and displacement from his old home, as war sirens, marching soldiers, and rolling tanks haunt the streets of Tokyo. Mahito's new home is the family mansion of his late mother, as his father has married her younger sister, Natsuko, already pregnant with their child. Possessed by the dreams of his mother, unable to accept Natsuko as a substitute, Mahito is sulky, confused, and irritated by a heron which seems to be fixated at him. And then there's the tall tower built by a nerdy ancestor of the family, a portal to a parallel universe where the heron leads Mahito, claiming that his mother is alive, waiting to be rescued. Will Mahito find his mother back? What surprises are waiting for him in the new world? What happens to Natsuko, who got lost in the forest near the tower, are discoveries that unravel on the screen in Miyazaki's exquisite hand-drawn animation. Every frame is a painting. Every painting is throbbing with such color and texture that you get sucked into Mahito's world in no time. You get transfixed to Miyazaki's imagery that is stunning even by the master's own standards. You smell the flowers on the green rural landscape. The gentle breeze blowing touches your skin, and as the tender morning sunlight or the glowing moonlight washes over Mahito, you too feel drenched in it. In a world of animation that has mostly moved to computer-generated graphics, Miyazaki once again stands as a testament of hard-earned authenticity against convenience, the beauty of art through the tip of the pencil against run-book technology. And this beauty of his artistry gets into the theme of The Boy and the Heron, as we find Mahito's great-granduncle trying to maintain the balance of the universe through a handful of stones that need to be free from malice and put together to build a tower every third day. He wants to pass on the responsibility to Mahito as Miyazaki bows to the world, telling us to create beautiful societies untainted by malice. Or is it Hayao Miyazaki speaking to his son Goro, addressing their strained relationship through this swansong film as a goodbye, as the Tower Master wants to leave his legacy to one of his bloodline, but ultimately gives up, knowing that life is more important than creating a perfect world like Studio Ghibli. And there lies the beauty of the film, which we feel goes few steps ahead of other Ghibli productions. As we wonder, is it Mahito who stands in for Miyazaki or the great-granduncle? Is it the boy discovering the secrets of life like in his other films, or is it the old man who apparently controls the ways of the universe? And then they merge into each other in the corridor of time, bringing life full circle for the master and his fans. Such themes of duality are spread across Miyazaki's filmography, and The Boy and the Heron touches upon so many of them. The mother and her sister with Mahito torn between dreams and reality. The heron who transforms from a confident, unnerving guide to an unsettled, faltering follower. The existence of the caring housemaids in the real world and the one underneath, or how the menacing parakeet and the devouring pelicans become creatures we care for by the end of the film. Mahito clinching onto the memories of his mother in the real world, he meeting her as a friend in the surreal, and then finally learning to let go and embracing the harshness of reality. Forgetting is normal, says the Heron, as you watch Mahito and his mother from a parallel universe playing on the fields of time. You let the tears roll down your cheek as these dualities of life put a smile on your face. You see how Mahito is genuinely uncomfortable when his stepmom makes him feel her pregnant belly. Mahito, numbed by his mother's death, is still in shock as the idea of new life makes him sick. And then later in the film, in one of the most beautiful moments in the history of the medium, Mahito watches the bubbling warawara rising up to the real world to be born as new life. He panics as the pelicans eat some of them and then few die in the fire that fire girl Himi brings on to drive the pelicans away. And then he cares for one of the wounded pelicans that suggests the seawater is cursed and they need to feed on the warawara to survive. As Mahito digs that pelican's grave, perhaps he processes the meaning of life and eventually accepts his new sibling. Such scenes, such sequences are flooded throughout the film, without any explicit acknowledgement of what just happened. In some way, it makes sense for Mahito as in his starting point or turning point in life, as we are reminded of Master Miyazaki's insistence that logical storylines sacrifice creativity. To exist here, now, means to lose the possibility of being countless other potential selves, he says in his memoir. Yet once being born, there is no turning back. And that's exactly why the fantasy worlds of animation movies so strongly represent our hopes and yearnings as they illustrate a world of lost possibilities for us. The Boy and the Heron has released in subbed and dubbed versions across India. Do yourself a favor and watch it on the big screen. You might come out a better person in life. That is all from us today. Thank you for watching.